Wonder. And the theme for July is relationships. The title of our talk today is You and I Are We. And it will be given by our wonderful spiritual director, Charlene Banks. We are so glad that you joined us here today. Sit back and get comfortable as we officially kick off our service. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome. So I'm Charlene. As Tamara mentioned, I'm the spiritual director of CSL Leesburg, and I'd like to welcome you to our service. And we're going to move our group meditation to the end of the talk. So for now, let's watch Leah lead us in music.
Good morning, CSL Leesburg. Leah here. One of the gifts of the last 2 years have been the many magnificent people and musicians I've gotten a chance to meet and exchange with digitally. And one of them is a gentleman named Micah Hindler. Micah and I don't look alike. We don't sound alike musically, but some would say we tick alike. We resonate. We're definitely cut from similar cloth. And so when he wrote a song in which he had the lyrics, "I don't have to look like you," as soon as I heard that, my brain went running off to do the thing that it does musically. And so this is my response to Micah's song. It's called "Look Like You." And I think the chorus is pretty sing-alongable. So join me when you feel you can't resist. I don't have to look like you, I just have to look deep. I don't have to see like you to see that you're just like me. You're just another someone in this world. It's just another planet, a sweet blue pearl, floating in the somewhere it's all unknown, in this great mystery we all call home. I don't have to look like you, I just have to look deep. I don't have to see like you to see that you're just like me. I don't have to look like you, I just have to look deep. I don't have to see like you to see that you're just like me. You're just another traveler on this road, learning as we turn and shaking off the load, growing in the darkness, striving toward the light, just another lover of a fleeting life. I don't have to look like you, I just have to look deep. I don't have to see like you to see that you're just like me. Sing it with me now. I don't have to look like you, I just have to look deep. I don't have to see like you, I see that you're just like me.
Thank you, Leah. That's always so amazing what you do, my dear. Let's do that. Can you see better? Hello. So, Leah, so good. I don't have to look like you. Right. So today the talk is you and I are we. And there's no mistake. Last week, in the first week of the month, we talked about relationships. And what's the most important relationship? The one you have with yourself. And so we talked about self-love. And if we are able to love or be loved, to recognize love coming in from our community, from our friends, and from who we're going to talk about today, well, it can't get in if there's nothing in us that recognizes it. If we don't know what love is, we never loved ourselves, then of course someone else saying they love us, it falls on deaf ears. So it's good that we learned last week how to really anchor into self-love and what that might look like and how that could look like self-care. But today, what I want to talk to you about is how we can move that to the next level. What about the you? You and I, it turns out that we're we. And it's really important to understand that because the relationship that we have with our friends, our family, and our community, that is the relationship that is interactive. It is interdependence. I always think of that infinity symbol because think about how energy flows to and from our friends, our family, our community. We're exchanging it all the time. And it even includes those who we don't know personally. Did you know that you're doing an energy exchange with the person who holds the door for you on your way into the gym? I mean, that person, you may never see them again, but hopefully you do because you both go to the gym a lot, right? But even if you don't, you for a moment exchanged energy as you nodded or smiled at them as they let you in before them and you said thanks. And maybe you got the next door for them if it's a two-door type of situation. That's that energy that we exchange. That's the energy that we exchange when we begin to wonder about others. Wonder instead of just judge. Wonder instead of, well, I don't look like you, so yeah, no, we have nothing in common. No. I don't have to look like you, just like the song said. But there's something we have in common. There is an energy exchange. There are many studies that have shown, I love these kinds of studies, where they take a person and they put them in a room. And then they have a video camera in the corner. And the video camera is on, but is someone watching them on video or not? They don't know. The light is on 100% of the time. But then in another room, you have an observer. And the observer is told that at certain times on the clock, look at the person and stare at them on the video. And then other times, do what you want. Play with your phone. Do whatever you want. But at a certain time, stare at them. I love it. What studies have shown is that the person in the room being stared at is also being told, mark the moments when you feel like you're being watched. Those moments matched up because we feel each other. You've been in a situation where you're like, who's looking at me? And sure enough, somebody looks, or they catch you. You caught them looking, and they either look away or they keep looking. Can I just mention, I have a public service announcement at this time. Please smile if somebody catches you staring at them, because otherwise it's weird. Just smile and just nod. Stories later, I'll tell you over drinks what I mean by that. But anyway, back to the talk here. We are connected. We're so connected. We can tell when people are watching us. We can feel when somebody's feeling a little funny. We can tell. And we go from just wondering about somebody else to being in wonder about how that person must exist, what their life must be like without adding assumptions. We just become in wonder and curiosity about it. It's an awesome way to live. In fact, in Ernest Holmes, in The Science of Mind, the edition, the book, the 1938 edition, which we're currently reading in my class, there's a meditation. There's a bunch of meditations in the back of the book. And I want to read this one to you. I'm going to modify the terminology because it's very 1938. I'm going to try to change it into more inclusive language, but I think you'll enjoy this. My vibration attracts friends to me. Ernest Holmes says, I am never alone, never lonely, for I have as companions and friends those people who are drawn to me by the ever active and immutable law of attraction. I desire to be loved, therefore I allow myself to love greatly, to feel warmly inclined toward people, to be interested in them and helpful on their behalf. I give as I wish to receive. It is not enough that I profess to love people. I must really love people more dearly than I have ever loved before, because all people are my family. I do not outline who shall be my friends and companions, because there's no desire to coerce, compel, or suggest anyone, or suggest to anybody, oh, I'm going to go out and recruit this person as my friend. No, the law of attraction brings into contact and relationship with me all those people in whose company I find the greatest profit and enjoyment, and to whom I may give the most. I'm happy and radiant at all times, for I enjoy at all times perfect companionship. I trust implicitly the law of attraction to bring into my environment an atmosphere of friends and loved ones. They establish for me a community of interest and helpfulness. As I love and cooperate with my fellow humans, so do they love me and give their cooperation to me. I am happy in all of my companionships and relationships because they are worked out perfectly by the law, and the law is motivated to work for me by my love for people. Okay, how many of you are a little triggered? You supposed to love all the people, even the guy that cut you off? Yes. How does this show up in life? If we really believe that we are one and everybody is our brother and sister and non-gender specific person, listen, then we wouldn't be flipping that guy off in the parking lot. Not to tell on myself, but there was a guy at Burger King. Anyway, like I have to be in that moment and of love and just compassion, and that's my brother or sister or non-gender person. So what does that look like? What if your behavior was the only exposure to CSL that somebody had? Oops. What if your behavior was the only way they could know anything about what you believe? Now, I know in my mind, I'm also thinking about other people. Yikes, because there are those so-called religious types that are really out there espousing things that aren't loving at all. Not at all loving. I mean, I think cruelty is the point sometimes. And yet I have to bring my attention back to me, because it's so comfortable to sit in judgment of those people over there who are not doing their religion right. Because if they believe Jesus, well, they'd be acting different. Oh, I can go there. But then how does that help me? How does that help me be a better person if I'm sitting in judgment about how they're doing their religion wrong? So I have to pull it back, come back here, and just know that those last words, the law is motivated to work for me by my love for people. So if the law is motivated to work for me by my love for people, I'm thinking that if I can love more, the law is working even more harmonious, even more immediately for me. The more I'm in alignment with how I should behave, how I know the highest me wants to behave, the more I'm in alignment with that, the more I'm in alignment with the law of attraction. And then all things come to me. I don't have to go out and search. I don't have to solicit, knock on every door. If I just show up in my daily life as the embodiment of what we believe here at CSL, what we just talked about, well, then that's attractive to those that are similar to those that vibrate at that level, and they'll want to know more. That's how that works. I don't have to go and recruit. Neither do you. Just be your highest self, and love other people. Help them if you see them that they need help. Do you remember in the Bible? I don't know if you grew up with the Bible like I did, but there is one, where Jesus says to his disciples, he says, I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you visited me. And then the righteous answered him and said, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you as a stranger and we took you in and we clothed you? What? We didn't see you. And he says, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these amongst me, you did for me. And so if we're following the teachings of we are not other, we're all part of the same construct. We're all individuations of the divine. We are all individuations of the divine. Then if I treat you well, I treat me well. That is how that works. I cannot speak from a CSL high horse and say, well, we have, our vision is we want a world that works for everyone and for all beings, and then sit and say, oh, but not for those guys because they suck. No, we can't. If we want a world that works for all and we want a just world, then we can't sit and judge in a way that's not just. We cannot, oh, I'm not going to help that person because they deserve it. Oh, I'm not going to hold the door because I don't like those type of people. Oh, I'm not going to. No. We help each other freely. We do what we can and we participate. Why? Because we're all part of the same thing. In fact, the Hindus call it Indra's net. I don't know if I've talked about this before, Indra's net. Imagine something like this. So do you see how that's a net of pearls? And they're all connected to each other. And that net is reality, or it's existence itself. And each one of us are nodes, little pearls in the net. You see how we're all connected. This vision has, or this sort of metaphor has been used to describe how humanity, all sentient beings, are part of the same oneness. And I'll read to you a little bit about Indra's net. The metaphor of Indra's net, it's a jeweled net where each, it's attributed to an ancient Buddhist named Tushun, who asks us to envision a net that at each juncture there lies a jewel. Each jewel reflects all the other jewels in the cosmic matrix. Every jewel represents an individual life form, atom or cell or unit of consciousness. Each jewel in turn is intrinsically and intimately connected to all the others. Thus, a change in one gem is reflected in all the others. So the last aspect of a change in one is reflected in all the others. I need you to really take that in. Because if you were to sort of test this, in fact, in one of the dialogues that they have here, there was a student who asked the question, how can all these jewels, all these different jewels be considered one jewel? How? And the answer is, if you don't believe that one jewel is all of the jewels, just put a dot on the jewel in question. And then when one jewel is dotted, the reflection causes all the other jewels to be dotted as well. Isn't that cool? Or is it terrible? Like, think about this. If one dot happens on one of the jewels, it affects them all because they're all reflections of each other. They're not in that net independently. They're all reflections of all the others. And so all the jewels are one jewel. And so the moral is that the compassionate and constructive interventions that a person can make will produce a ripple effect. If we have a compassionate movement that we take for one person, that has a ripple effect. We've all seen that pay it forward kind of video where somebody did a good thing and that person did a good thing and they just kept paying it forward. And that had a huge effect on the entire net. And it reverberates throughout the universe. Now, this is just a visualization of the reality of life. That net is a visualization. But whatever you put into that, whatever you put into this conscious collection of us, it reverberates. Think about it. I mean, that's really, really tough to accept, but yet it makes so much sense. Each of our actions has an impact. So here's a story about the Amish. I'm sure you're aware and you remember back in 2006 at West Nickel Mines School. In this one-room schoolhouse, the Old Order Amish community of Nickel Mines was launched into the media when a gunman took 10 girls from age 6 to 13 hostage. He then shot 8 of them, killing 5 before killing himself in the schoolhouse. It is easy to envision the Amish community feeling hatred for the man who perpetuated the act of violence. And yet, on the day of the shooting, a grandfather of one of the murdered Amish girls was heard warning some young relatives not to hate the killer, saying, "We must not think evil of this man." Another Amish father noted he had a mother and a wife, the shooter, and a soul. And now he is on his next level, being judged or standing before whatever it is he believes. He is now accountable for his actions in the next life. So what he's trying to teach, and I'll keep reading this, but I just want to say that this is very important. They could have gone the other way and took violence and felt hatred. But notice how the grandfather said, don't feel hatred for him. And now we know why. That Indra's net. Don't feel hatred. That will ripple it further. Well, let me finish. Jack Meyer, a member of the Brethren community living near the Amish in Lancaster County, explained, "I don't think there's anybody here that wants to do anything but forgive and not only reach out to those who have suffered a loss in a way, but to reach out to the family of the man who committed these acts." A Roberts family spokesman said so the Roberts family, that's the family of the person who shot the children, said an Amish neighbor comforted the family hours after the shooting and extended forgiveness to them hours after the shooting. Amish community members visited and comforted the shooter's widow, his parents, and parents-in-law. One Amish man held Robert's sobbing father in his arms, reportedly for as long as an hour, to comfort him. The Amish have also set up a charitable fund for the family of the shooter. About 30 members of the Amish community attended Robert's funeral. 30 members of the Amish community attended the shooter's funeral. And Marie Roberts, the widow of the killer, was one of the few outsiders invited to the funeral of the Amish children. Marie Roberts wrote an open letter to her Amish neighbors, thanking them for their forgiveness, their grace, and their mercy. Now, this is the part. Think about Indra's net. She wrote, "Your love for our family has helped to provide the healing we so desperately need. Gifts you've given have touched our hearts in a way no words can describe. Your compassion has reached beyond our family, beyond our community, and is changing our world. And for this, we sincerely thank you." Forgiveness, love is really what compassion in the face of something so horrific that you'd have every right to feel all the other feelings. But because the Amish practice what they practice, they were right there in it, and they knew about love, and they knew about forgiveness, and they knew that that is what they wanted to add to the net. That's what they wanted to put in. That just because one other person put in this negative thing and that had a triple effect, they stopped that ripple, didn't they? When they turned it around and said, "Forgive now, right away. Do not hold hatred. We do not want to add another negative thing on this net because it's already reeling." And that healing then was the countermeasure. And just to know, I mean, and I love this because the people around that poor soul that was so anguished that he had to do what he did, those people were just there. They're just his family. They didn't all collaborate on that. And to include them in and forgive them, as she said, it healed not only her family, but the community and changes the world. So it's an amazing thing that even if I, in that Burger King parking lot, can just pause that and not go there, not let someone trigger me to where I'm flipping them off. I'm not proud, not my proudest moment. I too can say, here's that emotion. I see that emotion, and I'm not going to add that to my world, and I'm not going to add that to the net and then let that go. No. I'm going to stop it here and transmute that and make it higher, turn that into something positive that I can then live upon. Because the more I can, like Ernest said, line myself up with love for other people, then the more I am in alignment with the law. And I know that the law of attraction is attracting back to me everything that I'm putting out. So it really is. We are one. And there is no separation, and it's very good that we can get an image of that as often as we can. And finally, I want to talk to you about, in general, yes, we come from this self-love, and we walk into our lives, into our everyday environment, whether it's in traffic or with people we see at the gym, at the mall, at the shopping center. Maybe it's our healthcare providers, that we have this exchange going on. There's always an exchange going on. And we remain mindful of who we are and what we stand for. We stay anchored in love and compassion. And we want to ensure that we are curious about people rather than immediately putting them in the other category. We're curious, which opens up that bridge, which allows them to enter in to our world. Now, before I have Tamara take us through our loving kindness meditation, I found something online it's interesting. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called thehumanlibrary.org, where, you know how normally with books, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. Tamara's nodding. You heard of this? I hadn't heard of this. So you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. And so in this case, the humans are the books in the library. And these humans have maybe something about them that we might judge. But then we get to hear about their life from their point of view. We have, if you go to humanlibrary.org, there's a whole profile on someone. And the title is Homeless Person. And I imagine if you click, you can hear what it's like to be that person. And another one says, single mother. And another one, all these different types of people that you may not run across. They may not be in your immediate vicinity for you to sit down and have some tea with. But by opening ourselves to people that are so-called other, we can find so many similarities. So this is a library of human beings. And I love it. They were like, do you want to be a book? Do you want to be in our library? And I thought about that. I'm like, what would my subtitle be? So, because every single profile, they have like a single word to label them. And I've never really been great at fitting into a single box. So I'm still chewing on that. But I would recommend, if you would like to feel it's a personal practice, to say, I'd like to expand my thinking of others. They're not others, they're me. I want to know more. I want to bring some other experiences into my life. You might start at thehumanlibrary.org. All right, so Tamara next is going to take us through a loving kindness meditation, which is a wonderful way to wrap this up given the topic. And then when she's done, I'll take us into our spiritual mind treatment, which is our community, our way of affirmative prayer. And then we'll have Leah sing us out. Okay, Tamara, I will spotlight you, and then I'll share the meditation video.
Wonderful, wonderful. Charlene, such a powerful message. Thank you so much. I'm from Pennsylvania Dutch country, Amish country, and the story of the Amish shooting always resonates deeply with me. So thank you so much. I also wanted to remind everyone before I begin our meditation that if you have any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like us to include when Charlene does our spiritual mind treatment, our form of affirmative prayer, please take a moment and add those to the comments section or the chat. All right, now, after that, let's begin our meditation. And this is something called the loving kindness meditation. And when Charlene asked me to do this today, I looked at it and I went, oh, it's so perfect because it fits in beautifully with the message that she shared with us today. So I always like to begin a meditation by taking a breath. Just inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more because it feels so good just to bring ourselves into this moment, this now. And I love how Charlene has added our sound effects. That sound just resonates. Helps you leave everything else that's on your mind behind. And just come into this moment. Right here, right now. I'm going to be saying something during this meditation, and each time I want you to repeat after me. So you'll hear me say it twice. The first time, I'll just say it so you know it's coming up. And then the second time, you join me. And let's keep our mics off. You know how sometimes I like to hear you guys, but let's keep our mics off for this. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May I be happy. Now we're going to say this for somebody else. So you can picture one person, everybody in the room with you, somebody who's not close by, but somebody who you think maybe needs this right now. And like Charlene said at the beginning, people could tell even when the video camera was turned on that somebody was looking at them. So we're going to know that whoever you're sending this message out to is receiving it. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be happy. Now, here's the challenge. Remember Indra's net, right? One little spot on one jewel is reflected on all the other jewels. So I want you to think of someone with whom you are not at peace. Somebody who challenges you, gets under your skin a little bit. It's all connected. One spot that you have on your jewel is reflected on all the others. So let's just erase that spot and send love out to someone with whom you're not quite comfortable with whom you're struggling with who you have a disagreement. Picture someone in your mind. And here we go again. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be happy. Let's take one moment. Let that settle in. Now, you and I are we. So now we're going to say we because we're sending this message out to all beings. Understand that we are all jewels in the same net. We all are one. So we're going to say this again, and we're going to use the word me, knowing that we're sending it out to everyone. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. May we be happy. Take a moment, like the chime, the gong that we heard that resonates. After that bell is struck, that gong is struck, the vibrations just ripple out. Just let the thoughts and the feelings that you have from this meditation just ripple out from you. It envelops you and spreads out all over the net, Indra's net, for we are one. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamara. That was beautiful. That was perfect. And as we go within to close out this wonderfully appointed service at this time, I just know that all is well, that we are part of this divine. We are one with the divine. There is no separation. We are absolutely an emanation, an individuation, a unique expression of all that is. We are uniquely amazing, connected with all the other uniquely amazing jewels in the net of the divine. And it is in this awareness that I know that since we are one with all that is, that there can be no other, only me, you, or we. In this spirit of oneness and connectedness, I speak my word for any place on the net where there is any experience of dis-ease or any experience of disharmony, any place where more wholeness is ready to be revealed. I speak my word that right there is happening right now, is the divine expression of the greater yet to be that is forthcoming. Whether that looks like healing from a disease, whether that looks like releasing of ideas of not enoughness, whether that looks like relationship harmony, whatever it is that we're going through right now, and everybody has something, I speak my word that more wholeness is being revealed right now. Even those who are fully happy, I speak my word that you step into that happiness and you dance like Snoopy with your nose in the sky, because it is all good. It is okay. It is awesome to be alive. We embrace every moment as it comes, and we do not resist or judge or want to be somewhere else. We are right where we need to be, because right here, right now, everything is unfolding. And it's amazing. I'm so grateful to be able to watch it all unfold, because I see this community blooming and sprouting into greater expressions of itself. And as I close this prayer, I know that all is well, because I spoke it into the law, and the law always says yes, comes back to me fully embodied. And I release it, I let it go, and say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Whew. And back to Tamara. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to show you some Leah. Let's do one more Leah song.
I'm actually not sure if I've shared this song with you yet, but it's inspired by a story called The Parable of the Long Spoons, and it's about a mystic's experience of heaven and hell. I will spare you the long version and just sing the song, but if you're not familiar, check out The Parable of the Long Spoons. No one gets to heaven alone, to heaven alone, to heaven alone. No one gets to heaven alone. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side. No one does the work on their own, the work on their own, the work on their own. No one does the work on their own. We're working side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We're working side by side. No one heals the world on their own, the world on their own, the world on their own. No one heals the world on their own. We're healing side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We're healing side by side. No one gets to heaven alone, to heaven alone, to heaven alone. No one gets to heaven alone. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side. No one gets to heaven on their own. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side. No one, no one, no one, no one, no one, no one. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side.
Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you again, Charlene, for the wonderful message. And Leah, every time she gives me a song that just is going to stay with me, I know I'm going to be singing that last one all day today. So now is the time that we bless our donations that are shared with us. At CSL Leesburg, we believe in the law of circulation. We know that as we give, so shall we receive. So we know that the donations that are shared with our center bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. Your donations help our center, our CSL home organization, as well as organizations that support our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. Indra's Net, people, once again. We thank you so much for your support. You can see if I look at a screen, it's so easy to find a way that works for you. And now join me as we bless our donations in our affirmation of oneness and our blessing of the gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I'm a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. And now it's time for announcements. All right, folks, if you like what you heard here today and you want to hang out with us, join us at 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays, and Charlene will lead you through our dream study. Charlene and her friends meet and they talk about their dreams. Sometimes it helps to share your dreams with others because you might just find that you're getting some kind of message in your dreams and they will help you interpret your dreams. And on Wednesdays, Wednesday evening, I love this. This is our midweek check-in. It's so nice to get together on Sundays, but it's really nice to get together midweek and just kind of connect again. And in July, for the second week, you can see that we're going to talk about the forgiveness experience. Charlene touched on it in our message today. If we're all one, then it makes sense that we want to forgive others as we want them to forgive us. But let's explore forgiveness on Wednesday night and take that and talk about how we can add that to our daily practice. We have some classes going on. So tomorrow is our first day of spiritual principles and practices. I'm teaching that class. It's a foundation class. If you are interested, here's all the information and it's really easy to sign up. Just go to our website, cslleesburg.org, and look for classes. And I hope you join me with this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Charlene is doing her Revealing Wholeness class. This has started already. And Charlene will have to put on her mic fast and say if it's okay if they sign up still.
No, we're close. I should take it.
Oh, okay. So sad. Those of you who are in it, I know that you're enjoying spending extra time with Charlene and you're learning so much. And just something to keep in mind because we're always having some classes. So there's always something happening. And we'd love for you to join us. That's part of our principle is study. All right, guys, time flies when you're having fun. It's now time for our closing affirmation. I do want to say before we do this, if you're able to stay with us, please hang out with us. And we do what we call pearls. We talked about those moments from the service, from the message, from the music that really resonated with you. And we like to exchange that because what you get might be different. You might add some more insight than what I got. So hang out with us if you can. If you can't, then we're going to send you off on your way after our closing affirmation. So here we go. All right, now this is the time that I want to hear you. So turn on your mics and join me. Put your hands over your heart and say, I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, look at somebody either on the screen in the room with you, or I'm gonna, yeah, he's down here. Silas is on the floor, my faithful boxer. He always joins us. I don't know where Hannah is, but Silas is always here. It's usually snoring during the meditation. But here we go. Look at someone and say, you are loved. You are loved. And when I lean forward, I can see they're both here. Hannah's here too. And they're fast asleep. All right, folks, because we all are connected, we know it's all good. It's all God. It's all wonderful. It's all love. Put your hands up in the air. It's all love.
It's all love.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us on this July day. We hope that you have a wonderful week. Join us midweek for some of the exciting things that are happening if you're able to. If you're leaving us, we send you off with love and blessings. But if you can stay, come hang out with us. We'd love to chat with you. All right. For those of you leaving, bye.